What is it?
Hello and welcome to another episode of What Is It? With me, Lee, here on The Essential Gamer. And I'm going to be honest, I've been a bit absent. I haven't made any new What Is It's because there just haven't been enough game. I'm lying. I'm bullshitting. I've been hiding. I've been hiding away in my little cave working on different projects. But every so often, a new game will come out and it will force me to want to make a video review on it. And that is exactly what has happened with this Papercraft Tim Burton Nightmare Before Christmas-esque adventure starring Toby J. Caputo in Papercut Mansion. It's not like many other games that I've played. In fact, it's more like a smorgasbord of gaming mechanics and gameplay loops all crammed into one. So let's have a little look. Let's see what it's all about, shall we? So in this wonderfully animated, isometric, top-down puzzle, adventure, shooter, horror, time trial, it's everything. It's got so much in it. So you're this character, this Toby chap, who is trapped inside Papercut Mansion. And you basically follow this blue moth that's on the wall into each room where you solve clues. And the way it works is that there are 3 planes of existence. Now, I'll explain that a little bit more later, but one of them is very much puzzle-based. So you start off in this puzzle-based... well, it's not an area, because it's a roguelike. Everything is randomly generated. The rooms don't seem to ever be the same on whichever run you have. So with each room comes its own conundrum, of which you have to solve a puzzle to open a door, say, like this one. Find the numbers to correlate to musical notes, play the musical notes, open the door. Very simplistic stuff, you may think, but this is literally the first room. The first room of the game gave me a puzzle that I probably spent about 3 minutes on. Silly, right? But interesting all the same. As you explore the mansion, you try and find different things to use, different tools, different equipment, even weapons and stuff like that. You will explore the outside of the grounds. You will actually explore quite a lot of Papercut Mansion as you try to escape from whatever it is that you're trapped in. There's not a great deal of story at first, but you are fed these things as you go. And as I say, you have these different planes of existence to find clues on and things like that. So one of them is very puzzle based. Another one of these dimensions is the blast 'em up dimension, where you have to basically gun stuff down with what is, I think, a candy cane of sorts. And it becomes a top-down shooter. A twin stick top-down shooter, which I didn't really expect to happen, but it actually plays really well. One of the things that you'll notice about it is it looks stunning. It's wonderfully animated, it's beautifully put together, but it handles really well, like everything does. So the shooting mechanics are actually quite snappy, the aiming is really responsive, and there's a lot to it. I mean, you're going to die a lot. But that's, again, part of the game. It is a roguelike. So every time you die, you'll come out of Paper Mansion with hopefully some new information, whether that's evidence that you've found, so bits and pieces that you'll pick up along the way that some may mean more than others. Some may need a little bit more added to them to mean something. And you'll start to pick up equipment, abilities more like. So you start off picking up 1 or 2, and as you go along, you'll collect all these different abilities that you can mix and match into a loadout to start a new game on. And it makes for so much variance in the gameplay that so far no two runs have been the same for me, and I've probably had about 20 runs altogether. And I've started them in different rooms. I've started in different existence of planes of existence, dimensions, whatever you want to call it, and it changes every time. The dialogue may seem the same, but the things change all the time. Now, there are moments of peril on all of the planes of existence. So you have things like this ghost that is you can't just destroy it. They're invulnerable to everything. But you can just run away and cry. But these things will murder you quite successfully. And with every time you die, you get a readout, you get a failed message, you get the cause of death, which in this case was a heart attack. But you also get a little bit of knowledge, whether it be, oh, that weapon's useless, or that piece of equipment's not very good against that particular thing, or I don't like being in the dimension where I have to shoot stuff, because I don't, it's not very nice, you die. But all of them serve a purpose, and the puzzles are just enough for you to feel like you're successfully working something out without getting too stressed by it. So it's always a very, very fine balance for puzzle games for me to get that difficulty just right. And the fact that you have to look for things, you have to try and find clues, you're trying to find information in the world around you to solve the puzzles, whilst all of the other madness that is happening in Papercut Mansion is happening. So yes, I said you have to find clues and stuff, so you'll investigate each room. Each room will have items and things that you can look at, and while you're investigating in these different planes of existence and different rooms, the demigod of all three is watching you, this dog bloke here with the 5 arms. He's going to be in charge of the 3 gauges that determine whether you are alive or not. If any of those 3 gauges fill up, you're pretty much dead. And they represent each of the 3 areas. The areas are full of different things, but you will find NPCs on different runs, which is quite nice. You don't always get the same people to speak to. So here I'm talking to Drunk Marcus, and he tells me I have to find some vodka, which is actually on a different plane of existence. There's a priest that's got some sort of locked box that you have to solve the conundrum to open. There's a duo, there's a couple somewhere out there that have upgrades. There's a guy who has mystery packages, the lawyer, of course. He basically sells you upgrades at random as you find cash on your travels throughout the mansion. There's a proper shop. There's little guys that will help you with information as to what you're supposed to be doing within the gameplay loop. There's all sorts of hazards everywhere. The whole mansion feels alive, which is incredible, especially when a door's talking to you. These are the guys with the power-up. So you will also level up your character. You can add to the dexterity, the intelligence, the strength, and all of that sort of thing. And this will generally make your runs more exciting, far more varied. As you find different upgrades and put the medals on your guy's jacket, you will unlock different possibilities. You can open boxes, you can become expert firearm blokes, you can be technicians and all that stuff. And all of this will help you throughout the playthrough. You'll unlock different items to use, which give you, again, more abilities against the baddies and in certain situations. And it all makes for finding synergies, which is one of the main sort of gameplay parts to any roguelike. It's finding a synergy between the weapons, the abilities, but you're also finding synergies between the items that you have and the universes you're on. So the limbic system, the reptilian system, and the other one. I can't remember what the other one is. You've basically got one which is dark and cold, and you're up against freezing temperatures, and you have to warm yourself within a time limit or you'll die. You have one where everything tries to kill you and you have to shoot them to keep them away from you. And you have one where it's puzzle based, but also will drive you mad because it's puzzle based, so it's stressing your brain out. And these 3 gauges in these 3 dimensions are what determine everything that happens to your character. And sometimes you can escape, sometimes you have to dance between the different dimensions to solve certain quest lines, to find certain clues, and generally it keeps it busy enough for you not to get bored. I didn't really get bored while I was playing. I haven't finished it, I'm going to admit. This came out today, if I can get this video out on time. It came out earlier today, and I've had it for a couple of days now, and I've probably put about 6 hours into this review. I'm showing you clips from the first starting main quest which is the talking door. I'm not really going to go beyond that because there's some good bits that I think everyone should see for themselves. But I will tell you it's very engaging. The story is dripped to you just enough, with just enough mystery for you to get fully interested in it. The puzzles ramp up and become more and more difficult and harder to solve, and the enemies just keep on coming, which really does make for an interesting premise because it's, like I said, it's a puzzle shooter time trial isometric creepy cardboard game that really shouldn't work at all, but it kind of does. And it doesn't just work, it works really well. It's a paper game. I mean, where's Mario? So, Papercut Mansion is available today as of the going live of this video. And if you like any form of puzzle game, any sort of top-down shooter, any form of Tim Burton movie that is animated, any form of origami-based entertainment, I thoroughly recommend it. Everything from the song that it starts with a song. Burton would be proud of the song it starts with. This is Halloween, but basically papercraft house song. I can't recommend it enough. It shouldn't work. It's a cocktail of too many gameplay mechanics that threatens to drown itself in its own possibilities, yet works wonderfully with the separation between the three planes and the separation between the gameplay loops within those planes. Papercut Mansion is superb. The atmosphere, the character design, the level design, the gameplay loops, the mechanics, the everything. Oh, it's great. Have a go. If you don't like it, you don't like fun. You don't like interesting. And I don't like you, alright? That's a lie. I like everybody. But you should definitely give it a go. So as always, if this video has been any good to you at all, please do like and subscribe. Make sure you stick around on the channel for new videos. If it's no good, tell me why it was no good. Tell me what I did wrong in the comments. I'll read them and then I'll send myself to a origami class and learn how to make better shapes. Until next time, goodbye.